Good evening and welcome to the Good Faith Podcast, where we maneuver around debauchery, attempting to find harmony with our fellow man and unpack degeneracy. I'm your host, Ninjah Bullock. We understand you could have been a million other places, and the time is the most precious commodity any of us have. So from the bottom of our heart, we'd like to share our gratitude with all of our viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. Due to the sensitive nature of some of our topics, we hope you will shield youngins from some of the vulgarity that may be spewed here. It must be noted that the views expressed by the panel are not necessarily the views of the Good Faith Podcast, and we are not liable for any results incurred by the utilization of our advice, nor are we a fiduciary and assume no culpability of investment performance as a result of following our advice. Our simple aim is to entertain and inform. Anybody living in the greater Philadelphia area interested in making an appearance on our show can reach me in a DM on Facebook or Instagram at Christopher Bulick. That's also my Venmo if you're interested in making a campaign contribution to facilitate our meteoric rise to the top. As a candidate of the people, I solemnly swear I won't misappropriate the funds. I won't spend them at Myrtle Beach golf courses. I won't gas up a corporate jet to fly to Tulum. I won't fund arms dealers in the Middle East with Stinger missiles and Harrier jets. I won't buy stupid shit.
There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's $1 bill. I open a savings account in your name. That way, 500 years later, it'll be worth billions. Billions. Oh, I like money.
In all seriousness, times are tough, and any proceeds we receive will be going towards things like avoiding eviction, keeping the lights on, medicating Clark with all of his health concerns, and feeding our gracious guests. Once again, if you feel that you've been given value by us, it takes a little extra effort to like, subscribe, and leave a comment singing our praises. This is your notification that the Good Faith Podcast is available on not only YouTube, but Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Patreon, Amazon Music, Samsung Podcasts, Listen Notes, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and RSS.com. Fuck Deezer and TuneIn. We'll continue pushing out these episodes and improving our craft so long as our following continues to grow. If you're interested in becoming a paid subscriber to our Patreon, we offer 2 tiers. And here's a special shout out to our faraway friends in San Diego, San Jose, Cheyenne, Nebraska, Chattanooga, Atlanta, Lexington, Kansas City, South Bend, Richmond, D.C., Montreal, Harrisburg, Albany, and New York City. You guys are so kind. And if you would, just chat in while we're live. Let us know where you're living, and we'll try and target your demographic with content specific to your region. The path to notoriety will be for our listeners to spread the good word of the pod. If you have somebody in mind who would agree with our content, may be informed, or even to ridicule us, send a link to your friends and family. All publicity is good publicity. Our objective is to have balance between the red and the blue. So if you have somebody in mind who enjoys listening to pods, please spread our channel. Even if it's just a spouse or a child who will subscribe and never tune in a second of their life, it'll push us up in the almighty algorithm, and for that we'll be internally endeared to y'all. If you're interested in joining our movement, we represent the IRYOBYOAWMO movement. It's okay to show love and tolerance to anybody with an aligned opinion. Feel free to disrespect anybody whose opinion doesn't mirror yours and to treat them with bratty toxicity. After all, respect is only earned by somebody with an identical belief system as your own. So at this time, we're going to introduce ourselves.
Should I? Sorry, technical difficulties. I'm Dan. Am I saying anything else?
Your age, your occupation, your highest level of education completed.
Right, the usual. 32. I work at a credit union, and I have a bachelor's in accounting/business administration.
And I am our host, Ninjah, and my age is 33. I'm a life skills coach. I'm a podcast host. I'm a photographer and a face painter for the Philadelphia Eagles. And my highest level of education completed is an associate's degree in liberal arts. Chernie, your relationship status and longest relationship?
Single in 7 years.
And I am single, and I have been, and my longest relationship is about 3 years. Your orientation?
Heterosexual and demisexual.
And I am just plain old boring straight. Your spiritual beliefs?
Agnostic.
Okay. And I am Christian, non-denominationally, and I think it's about time that we, in my opinion, bastardize ourselves from having a political affiliation. I think that I'm making the conscious decision to stop giving a shit about politicians, because they're about to go 4 years without giving a shit about us. So I'm just gonna match that energy.
That's not true. There's in between elections with senators, and House representatives.
Yeah, but fuck them. Like I actually don't give a shit. This is gonna be an episode where I personally, I have zero emotional attachment to the results of this election. I understand that a lot, about half of our country is seriously heartbroken, seriously in a state of grief and mourning. So I'm going to try and not, beat them while they're down, and try and, practice empathy for them. Or how do you feel?
Nice.
Do you have like an opinion about like how are you feeling?
I mean, it's whatever. Move on, like like any other 4 years or any other elections. It's always gonna be back and forth between Republican and Democrat.
Yeah. Are you aware of this guy Nick Fuentes?
Yeah, he's the one who wants to stab Ben Shapiro.
Oh, I didn't hear about this.
It was on the Jubilee video.
Oh, was he in that?
No, he wasn't in that.
Okay.
Ben, he was mentioned in it.
Okay.
He's very far right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what, he thinks that Ben Shapiro is not far right enough?
I guess they have beef of something. Like people on the same side have beef with each other. I'm not. I don't know really enough about him. I just know that like he hates Ben Shapiro and Ben Shapiro hates him.
Hey guys, if you are listening, if you've joined us tonight, please, we ask that you feel free to chat in. I mean, as you can see, it's a pretty lonely. It's a pretty lonely panel. So we ask that you give us things that you want to talk about. If you want to share your grief, share your lamentations. Is that a word? Sounds like a word.
Like lamenting.
Yeah, if you want to lament to us, we'll be a shoulder to cry on. I'm also not gonna be like super sweet. Like I'm gonna give you your tough to swallow pills that I think will help you. And here's the news flash: they're not going in your fucking throat. They're suppositories. So fucking gape up, and they're coming in hot.
So what? Why did you bring up Nick Fuentes?
Because wait. So you didn't see the video that he posted?
No, I heard about this soccer thing going on in like where Maccabi Tel Aviv fans from Israel were in a huge fight with fans in Netherlands.
I heard about that too, but I mean, so basically what happened was he posted a really incendiary video of him with with a hat on saying "Your body, my choice."
Joseph Fowler said, "Sorry, I'm late."
You're all good. You're the first one here. Better late than never, but never late is better.
And what does he mean by that? What the heck?
It's just punching.
Kelly Bulick said, "Hi, Chris."
Hey, Mom. My mom's in Hawaii right now.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wish I could go.
But so he posted a video basically mocking the women who are already defeated, saying "Your body, my choice," which is, I mean, like, first of all, I don't agree with it. I'm a pro-lifer, but I don't feel like we just got some huge win. Like fucking And like I'm not even happy that there is such a large disconnect between American citizens, where some people feel that they are so oppressed and that they are second class citizens, and others are basically giving credence to that theory and like mocking them. It's just it's not helping the climate of our nation right now, which is already extremely fragile and disjointed for sure.
Yeah.
So um I wanted to discuss the different types of self-help, because I think there are two brands of self-help. There's like the Mel Robbins brand, which is like, you are enough. You are enough just the way you are. You are fine. Everything's good. And then there's the David Goggins route, which is like, you're your own biggest obstacle. You're a bitch. You gotta like fucking fix your shit. You're fucking not good enough. You know what I mean? So
Why
like,
can't there be an in between?
there can be an in between, but I mean, one sells. People like to be lied to, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So they're gonna buy the Mel Robbins shit.
So is that what you're gonna do since it sells?
No, like I'm gonna follow the results. And David Goggins is the world record holder for most pull-ups in a day. He did 1,000 pull-ups in a day.
What does that have to do with self-helping though?
He's
That's great for him.
Yeah, like,
but like, does that help other people do that?
I mean, he has a presence on the internet, so he's not like
so
nobody.
What Mel, whatever.
Mel
I don't know either
Robbins?
of these guys anyway.
Mel Robbins is a woman.
Okay.
But I mean, I think you got to follow the results. If somebody is selling you a bill of goods that is fruitless, if they're a snake oil salesman, you got to like question it with skepticism. And if somebody is, running marathons, he ran a marathon where he had broken feet at the start line. So he ran an entire, what's a marathon?
26 kilometers.
So he ran 20, at least I'm pretty sure like it was longer than that. Like
he had broken, like what do you mean? Like
he ran a marathon with his feet broken for the entirety of the race.
Like, how are they broken and why was he doing it?
Because he trained so fucking hard, dude.
What?
Like, he's a fucking goon.
Okay.
All right, so this is I want to
Kelly
be.
Bulick said 26.2 miles.
Yeah, Mom, do you know who David Goggins is? Ran 26.2 miles on 2 broken feet. Did 1,000 pull-ups in a 24-hour period. He's superhuman, and the only reason that he strives to be so great is that he fucking doesn't allow himself to slack off. But all right, if you could, guys in the chat, take 5 seconds for me to say this. This is my fucking pep talk to America. All right.
Kelly Bulick said,
"Get it out of your
don't
system."
Need feet to do pull-ups.
He did two different feats. Ran a. All right. After this, don't do any chatting, please, for a second. But did 1,000 pull-ups in a 24-hour period, and also on a separate occasion ran a 26-mile marathon on broken feet. It's pretty incredible. All right, here we go. You need to lock in. I'm going to have you ready to run through a brick wall right here. Are you upset about the results of the election? Are you moody from a Monday hangover? Are you focused on the concert or festival this weekend on Friday at 3 p.m.? Right now, there's somebody who can do your job better than you, hidden in their work. Right now, concealed in their purpose, somebody's more focused than you are. Are you a mortgage loan officer, coach of young students, basketball point guard, power lifter, dad, husband, boyfriend, spiritual advisor? Right now, somebody's lying dormant who deserves your position, and their light's being obscured by your satisfactory performance. Don't expose them by being mediocre. They're willing to arrive 5 minutes sooner than you. They're willing to stay 5 minutes longer than you. That person's willing to take the time to get their processes just right. Do you think they're taking mental health days? Do you think they're taking rest days in the gym? Do you think they're letting the outside noise affect how they treat others, how they speak to others? You'll never rise to the loftiness of your goals. You'll only fall to the depths of your processes. Lock in. Stop taking half measures. They'll avail you nothing. What do you think?
I don't know. That's guy pretty good, I guess. I don't know.
It's just something that I'm going to clip with, like, I'm going to clip it and put, like, this beat on it. And, like, do it in, like, black and white with a filter and, like, have... All right, so let me go over the ground rules. I'm trying to, like, shorten these up so they're not so fucking long and drawn out. First rule is respect. The Good Faith Podcast endeavors to harbor a culture of respect. Although some topics may be contentious in nature, it's of paramount importance that a general good faith exists between us. It's perfectly acceptable to attack another's opinion or mentality, but ad hominem attacks are strictly prohibited. Rule number 2 is honesty. Upon your arrival on the show, it's expected of you not to be deliberately obstinate. Due to the complex discussions that we embark on, a certain level of creativity and imagination is necessary. The above withstanding, you may be asked to step outside of your worldview and think of things from a hypothetical perception, and if asked to a stubborn, I don't know, or deeply entrenched failure to conceive alternative ideas is harmful to the good spirit of healthy conversation. Rule number 3 is trust. We trust that our guests on this panel will refrain from any hate speech, ill will towards celebrities. You could fucking talk shit on Nick Fuentes. He's incendiary and he's a fucking dickbag. Particular demographics and any other general avoidance of anything that can be considered a violation of the terms of services of the platforms and publishers we choose to post on. While in its infantile stages, the Good Faith Podcast is already video archived. Nudity is strictly prohibited, and in efforts to preserve our reputation, we request that guests of the show avoid intolerant language like calling Italians wops, guineas, guidos, grease balls. The only wop that we want to hear is wet ass pussy.
Okay, so you're appropriately whopping, which means your pH levels are perfectly balanced. Eat it up, N-word. Catch a charge.
All jokes aside, I really do detest the use of the F word, the N word, and the R word. El Gato may periodically chime in with popular culture sound bites and may even go as far as dropping an N-bomb. But if you'll note, they, them are black, and that is their word. Consideration is rule number 4. Nobody wants to listen to some diatribe by one person except this one, and so please consider the air of the room. We ask all of our members on the show to contribute equally in their communications and to have a somewhat internal clock when speaking. Let's say 3 minutes. It might sound like this when you're being ushered to a swift conclusion.
Though the sound is real simple, B. It says back it up. You're fucking done, son. You're done. You're done.
You're making a mess. You either do it right or you don't do it.
But I want to do it.
You're done. You are done.
And the 5th rule is fun. The 5th rule is to have fun. We aim at the Good Faith Podcast to build a culture of fun and debate in an attempt to reach across the aisle and perhaps educate and learn things from the many walks of life. Remember, only boring people get bored. If you happen to find yourself bored, offended, irked, kerfuffled, disgusted, bewildered, befuddled, bamboozled, confused, blah, 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 go fuck yourself. Seriously, we do endeavor to create a safe space for constructive feedback, and we will consider all complaints and grievances. Finally, a philosophy of curiosity is welcomed. Instead of criticizing a viewpoint you don't understand, please seek to understand it. Rule number 6 is integrity. Mean what you say and say what you
Kelly
mean.
Bulick said, funny, good one.
Thank you. Mean what you say and say what you mean. If you stand for nothing, you will fall for anything. Prattle isn't helpful towards providing a prescription for helping a large population of listening folks. A lot of the conversational topics are phrased in a binary form, so would you rather this or that? While the nature of most opinions falls somewhere in the middle of two extremes, we ask you to please try and identify which pole you lean towards. The purpose of this is because we aim to build up a large enough sample size and submit data based on our findings, and while you can't graph, I don't know, it's a little bit of both. So if the question is which is better with peanut butter, jelly, or chocolate, I don't know, they're both so good isn't adequate. And Do we want to keep doing the delusion calculator?
I mean, if it's just us, I don't see a point in it.
All right. Well, then maybe today is a perfect day to ask, are you proud to be an American?
Well, we did that last week, but I don't really feel pride in where I was born specifically, or like kind of what I had
Kelly
no
Buick
control over.
said, yes.
Good. Yeah, like
I think we're a great country. I like being here, but having pride for it isn't really something I would say I have.
Are you proud of democracy?
I mean, it's kind of the best we have. Like we can. I think we can make our democracy a better one, but like in terms of say rank voting or like some other systems that like use democracy
Joseph
to a
Fowler
further degree.
said, I'm proud to be an American flag of the United States.
Yeah, good. See, all right, maybe because of my reputation, I already know there's a high likelihood that liberals are going to be offended by the shit that I say. With that being said, I want to issue a disclaimer. I would always prefer to be offended by the truth than flattered by a lie. So what I'm going to do is probably going to be pretty offensive, but I actually really want the Liberal Party to improve its chances at winning the White House in 4 years. And so therefore, like, this is going to be an episode of reflection, an episode of how can we clean up some things? How can we improve the Liberal Party so that it stands a fighting chance in 4 years? I mean, I don't think I would be out of line to
Kelly
say
Buick said, trying to Vietnam and see what thing. How about reading the book about the Vietnam War called The Women?
I'll look into it. Mom, right now my friend Nasty is in Thailand. That's kind of it's closer to Vietnam than here. But do you think first of all that Kamala was given the best chance she could have gotten?
Not really, no.
Like she was given a shortened time frame,
like a couple months.
Yeah.
And she wasn't really that popular in the primaries before,
Yeah.
like in 2020. I mean, her popularity could be higher now, but like
Kelly Buick said, of course.
but like there wasn't a lot of preparation going in. She basically just said, I'm going to follow the policies.
Kelly Buick said she wasn't elected into that.
Wasn't elected into.
She wasn't elected into president, I think she means. She was elected into vice president. So she wasn't really prepared to be president. And then didn't have like she kind of formed some policies in that couple months, but it wasn't like enough time to really reach out and campaign and make it more aware of what she has going to be a president. So I don't really think she kind of I don't know if Biden would have really won either, like with the way it was going with him, but it was kind of just a shit show for the Democratic Party regardless.
For sure. So what I hope to do is to provide value to our listeners. These are my 10 commandments for how you listening at home can be better. This is how you can be better. Number 1, get into exquisite shape. There is zero detriment to being healthy and fit, and you will command the respect of people when you walk into a room. You will be viewed as somebody who is competent, somebody who is intelligent, you will not, like, at the very worst, they will feel no sort of way about you. But at the very best, they could give you a shot. They might listen to your opinion more. They might treat you with more respect. They might treat you with affection and adoration. So whether you're a man or a woman, get into better shape.
Kate then said, "Hi everyone, let's go Uncle Krister."
Hey, Kate, and hey, Easton. Love you guys both. My second commandment, get your finances in order. This is like pretty much just like the first commandment. Get into shape,
Kate
get your
then
finances
said,
in shape.
"We love you."
There's literally no problem on earth that having more money is going to exacerbate. I know what Biggie said, more money, more problems, like fucking load of horse shit. That's like a lie that the fucking rich have been feeding to the poor for centuries. Oh, money doesn't solve all your problems. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't solve all your problems.
It solves a lot of them.
It solves a lot of them. Yeah, like it improves every single facet of your life. And
I do think there's a limit as to how much it helps you at a certain point, though.
Mhm.
But cause like the difference between having like $1 million and $1 billion isn't gonna affect you that much.
Yeah, but I do think you could like fuck off $1 million
Yeah,
in a
nowadays
lifetime.
it is.
Like $1 billion,
Okay,
money
like
will
10
never.
million versus $1 billion. I don't really think there's much of a difference.
I think you could fuck off 10 million if
Okay, but you don't really. It's kind of stupid to just do.
It's
that.
literally impossible to fuck off $1 billion. Like there's a high likelihood that you'll make money on like your stupid shit that you do with $1 billion. Like,
I mean, it depends what you're fucking it off with. It's like
You
what do
could-
mean
you could,
by
like-
fucking off $1 million and $1 billion.
but never mind that. My point stands. Get your finances in order. You will not be as fucking pressed. You will not be as depressed about trivial shit like whose fat white ass is sitting in the Oval Office if your finances are in order. The name of this episode is, I think the name of this episode is Nobody's Coming to Save You. Whether this rich white woman was going to be in the Oval Office or this rich white man was going to be in the Oval Office, neither of them are coming to save you. You need to save yourself. There are no superheroes in this life. So fucking take control of your shape, take control of your finances, and everything else will be easier. Commandment number 3, compromise on your opinions, but never your principles. I think this is a big one for, like for this political season. Like there's like some things that like you got to pick and choose your battles. You know what I mean? Like some things you don't have to be so.
Kate then said, "Agreed, but I'm Louis Lane."
But Lois Lane, I love Lois Lane. I love Superman. Like pick and choose your battles. You know what I mean? You don't have to be so stubborn about everything.
Kelly Bulick said, "Amen to that. I guess you were listening to me in your teens. Thank God."
Thank God is right. But no, I was not listening to you in my teens. I'm now like I'm now a little bit more matured, and I'm starting to realize that, you know, in my teen angst I was a bit fucking dumb, you know what I mean? So now, you know, the shit that you say is important to me. But back then I definitely was not listening.
Doesn't that go against our hashtag #YuriUbama?
Well, I'll go into Iri Ubiamu later in this episode, because I really think that it's one of the biggest reasons why there is such a disconnect in our country right now is people don't
Kate
have.
Said, "Kelly Chris has turned into an amazing young man. Job well done, mama. And I remember those teen days. LOL."
Yeah, Mom. Kate, just so you know, I don't think my mom knows who Kate is, but just so you know, Mom, the time that I passed out at the top of Peanut's staircase and fucking had to get taken away by an ambulance, Kate's brother was the one who was the police on the scene who actually did that. I think. I could be wrong, but I think.
Kate then said, I know your mom. I have only been around for 18 years.
True. All right.
Kate then said, you are right, LOL. Kelly Bulick said, didn't she date Peanut?
No. She's Devin's wife, Mom.
Kate then said, no Peanut.
Anyone but Peanut. Have integrity. Rule number 4, have integrity. Mean what you say.
Kelly Bulick said, oops.
No, it's okay. Mean what you say and say what you mean. If you say you're going to do something, fucking do it. Like the Lombardi rule. If you arrive somewhere 5 minutes early, you're arriving on time. If you arrive on time, you're 5 minutes fucking late, dude. Like, don't be a fucking bum. Don't be like a deadbeat. Like, be of your word. Your word is your bond.
That's called the Lombardi time?
Yeah, well, I mean, let me see what it... Can
I
you
know
look it
there's
up?
I
I
know there's like the military thing where if you're like on time, you're late, and if you're late, it's unacceptable.
Yeah. So Lombardi said, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late.
This is Vince Lombardi.
If you're this is Vince Lombardi. He said, if you're late, don't even bother showing up.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, the last time I missed the shift at work was because I had COVID. Like I have to be forced to miss an obligation of mine.
Well, that's not being late. That's like sick time.
Yeah. But like I'd go if they let me, but like they won't let me if I have COVID, But I'm not taking mental health days. I'm not taking days off from work because I don't feel like it. Like I'm suiting up and I'm showing up every day. Rule number 5, question everything you're fed with extreme skepticism. What do you think about this one?
I wouldn't say everything needs to be extreme skepticism, but I do agree with skepticism.
Kelly Bulick said, Greg says should be 15 minutes early.
Facts.
LOL. Navy captain.
Yeah, like I show up like, yo, I'm just gonna keep on one up everybody. I show up 30 minutes early.
I'm pretty sure I can one up you because I work at 8 o'clock. I show up like 6:30, 7.
Good. That's
Kate
good.
M.
Like
said,
I work
I'm with
overtime.
Greg. Joseph Fowler.
I like to be
said,
30 minutes
I
early.
like to be at least 30 minutes early.
Facts,
so
dude.
I can relax before I start work.
And stay late.
All right. Our economy is a globalized economy now. You're not going to set yourself apart from the pack showing up 5 minutes early.
Kate M. said, Devin likes to be an hour late.
Wait, how's he doing it? He's doing so well.
This is just like the perfect example of how like America works. Like all of the like
said, yeah, I remember you missing your 4 p.m. shift due to oversleeping.
Yes, true. Oversleeping. But this is just like a perfect example of how America works. Like all these like worker drone bees are just like, I'm getting there 5 minutes early. I'm getting there 15 minutes early. I'm getting there fucking 30 minutes early. And then like the queen or the king bee's like, I get there an hour late. They're the one ruling over all of us.
So then, do you agree with your point or not?
Yes, I agree with my point. You can outwork fucking anything.
Said, Devin remembers when you missed your plane to Colorado.
Yo, I was stopped by TSA, dude. That like, all right, I'm not gonna have a chronic victim mentality. It's my fault, but rule number 6: target a purpose.
Kate said, face rolling on the floor laughing. Face rolling on the floor
That does
laughing.
all of them.
Face rolling on the floor laughing. Face rolling on the floor laughing. Face rolling on the floor laughing. Face rolling on the floor laughing.
All right, let's not use gratuitous emojis because now we see how.
Kate said, that's annoying. I'm sorry.
Okay. Rule number 6: target a purpose and then pursue it with 100% intensity. Because we're entering into an age where we have a globalized job market. The American dream is being outsourced to Asia and the Middle East and wherever they will do it cheaper and better than us. If you think you're just going to give 90%, if you think you're just going to come 5 minutes early or on time, and you're going to put yourself ahead of, Jose and Jinping, like you're fucking delusional. Those foreigners are going to take your job right before the robots take their job. And you're going to be dependent on subsidized income from the government to eat your bread and soup. Rule number 7, be wildly generous and charitable. So I don't know if the video can pick this up. You can kind of see their heads. And if you guys are interested, we're doing a charity called Operation Christmas Child, and that is where we send as many shoe boxes of like toys to third world nations for Christmas. Do an hour of work in 30 minutes. Show up 30 minutes
James
late.
Brennan said,
It's
do an hour
give
of
and
work in
it's
30
give
minutes.
and take.
Show up 30 minutes late. It's
Shut
give
up.
and take, LOL.
It's not give and take, bro. All right, if you want to be mediocre, you want to be middle class for the rest of your life, yeah, give and take. If you want to be a 1%er, then it's give and give. And speaking of giving and giving, if you guys are interested in giving to a third world nation, Chernie's got these Beanie Babies right here. I got, we both gave toothbrushes and Colgate toothpaste. I got some books here. So the goal is to try and fill as many shoe boxes with toys for the kids, who might not be able to experience the joy of opening anything on Christmas. So while people in our nation have the highest standard of living on the earth, they're bitching about who's sitting their fat ass in the Oval Office. They're fucking whining, throwing literal temper tantrums because their person didn't win. There are some kids who are actually like unsure of where their next meal is going to come from.
Americans will complain about literally anything.
Yeah, they're like ungrateful. And to those people who are throwing temper tantrums, I really want to implore you, tell me the last time you practiced gratitude. Because it's impossible to have gratitude if you're having resentment. It's impossible to have resentment if you're experiencing gratitude. So
you can have gratitude for one thing and resentment for another. It's
sure, but like
you can't have it at the same time for the same thing.
Yeah, but like I just all right. If you're in the chat, like I want to know what you guys are grateful for, or if you wanna like face my wrath, tell me what you're resentful about. Tell me how you're upset or disappointed, or what your temper tantrums about, and I'll maybe I'll validate it. Maybe I'll fucking shit on you for being such a fucking first world problem having motherfucker. Accept what you cannot control. This is huge. The serenity prayer is to have the serenity to...
Kelly Bulick said, and grateful for good health and the people in my life.
I'm grateful for good health. I'm grateful for a roof over my head. I'm grateful for the lights being on. I'm grateful for this podcast. I'm grateful that I have a job. I'm grateful that I have a car. Grateful that Chernie's here with me and I don't have to do this all entirely alone.
Hey, you locked me out. I couldn't get to go through the bathroom.
Kelly Bulick said, and Clark.
Oh, of course I'm grateful for Clark every single day. I literally thank God that he crossed our paths every single night.
I'm grateful for Starbucks.
Starbucks? I'm going to start having to drink like a fucking 40 ounces of Starbucks before these shows. So I'm just like wired to the tits like, woo! Yeah, you ready?
Kelly Bulick said, you stole Clark.
So like what is tomato like he's mine now. Okay. The serenity prayer is to ask God for the serenity to accept what you cannot control the courage to change what you can. If there's something that you can control, fucking change it. Stop bitching about it.
K-Ben
No.
said, Clark is the best, and Easton may steal him soon.
Easton's always welcome to come over anytime he wants. If there's something that you can control and you don't, shut the fuck up about it. Have the fucking courage to change what you can. Otherwise, you're just a fucking rotten little bitch. And the third part of the Serenity Prayer is to have the wisdom to know the difference. You can't control everything. You cannot accept everything. You need to have wisdom to know the difference between the two. My ninth rule is leave your comfort zone more than half of your life. It should not be, your comfort zone should not be your fucking home. You know what I mean? Like, being out of your comfort zone shouldn't be like a vacation, that something that you do once a year or twice a year. Like, I think if you want to continue growing, you need to leave your comfort zone on maybe as much as a daily basis, definitely on a weekly basis. And rule number 10, I'm sure a lot of people won't agree with this, but
Demeter Jackson said, how often do you leave your comfort zone? K-Ben said, I need to take that advice to heart and apply it, Chris. Thank you, I needed to hear that.
Demontre, I leave my comfort zone. I leave my comfort zone when it's necessary. You know, like not every single day are you going to be tasked with an opportunity to leave your comfort zone.
But you say we should do it more often than not do it. So
yeah, like I think you can.
Do you do that? Do you do it more often?
Sure, like
not?
I have started to fucking. I've started to like sing karaoke in front of my entire work.
What?
Demeter Jackson
like once a month.
Said, I like the comfort zone. It's comfortable.
Yeah, you'll get fat in the comfort zone. You'll get fat in the comfort zone.
Once a month is 1 out of 30.
That's one example of how I leave my comfort zone though. Like
I disagree with that point. Like I think it's fine. You should leave your comfort zone. Yeah, I don't think it should be a majority of the time. I think it's fine to be comfortable when you can and when you need it. Like if you're just not comfortable all the time, then you're just not enjoying life.
Kelly Bulick said, if your dreams don't scare you, you aren't dreaming big enough.
Facts.
Is that your karaoke?
So far in karaoke, I've done the Big Bad Leroy Brown and Take Me Home Country Roads. And December's right around the corner. I'm going to be doing all the Christmas carols. Rule number 10, get with a God of your comprehension. So you might not agree with this, but I think it's important to have to have something, some power.
Joseph Fowler said, will you be singing tonight?
If you make some requests, like I'll consider it.
Please no.
I'm not uncomfortable. I just don't think it will provide much value.
It'd be pretty funny, I guess.
I'll make you guys a deal. If you get me 50 subscribers, I'll do sinful things for 50 subscribers. But I'll definitely like sing whatever you want if you get 50 subscribers. But I just think
said, Devin said kill 2 birds with 1 stone, that he's grateful for adversity. You can only grow and become better through adversity. A sword is only sharpened after placed in a fire and hit with a hammer.
Yo, facts. Yeah, like you'll get weak in your comfort zone. So do you want to stay weak? Ask yourself that question. You know, if you're happy staying weak, you could be like the dog in the fire. I'm fine. Are you though? I mean, sure, yeah. Like
everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Sure, you know your life is what you think it is. Like you're Socrates. Is that the Socratic method? I think therefore I am, or Plato. I don't know.
I forget which one it is.
If you think you're fine, you're fine. I mean, like you might be on fire, but
Kelly Bulick said, no duh.
And that brings me on to my next point. If you do what everybody else does, you're going to get what everybody else gets. And what is everybody doing? Everybody's investing 1% of their income, working, financing a vehicle, financing a home, financing a college education that's probably obsolete.
K-Pen said, and then he said stop being a pussy and he'll show you some adversity via an ice bath.
I'm not about ice baths, but maybe that's just because they're outside of my comfort
I was
zone.
about to say, yeah.
Maybe I'll shrivel up my little pecker into a fucking acorn in an ice bath. If you
Senator
do,
Jackson said, what's wrong with these things?
what's wrong? What's wrong with investing
Kelly Bulick said, oh, step out.
What's wrong with investing 1% of your income? You're going to be perpetually middle class. That's what's wrong with it. And like I said, if that's fine with you, I'm not here to save anybody from mediocrity. If mediocrity is your comfort zone, if you're comfortable in mediocrity, enjoy it. Yo, like you can truly relate to Kamala saying that she was raised middle class. I mean, if you want to be middle class your entire life,
And what did
have
she
fun.
do to step out of being middle class?
I'm sure she stepped out of her comfort zone. I'm sure she, put herself out there, followed her dreams, handled adversity, was not just fucking comfortable being mediocre for her entire life. But yeah, you want to finance a car? Be my guest. You want to fucking invest 1% of your income? Be my guest. I can. All I can do is tell you what I think is the best, and if you disagree, fuck it. I mean, we'll see who's the right one in 40 years when two of us are at two different points. Like, I'm not saying that I have all the answers. I'm just saying what I think is the right thing.
We're not a fiduciary.
True. Although, like, what do you think? Do you agree that? Do you agree that do you agree that there's something wrong? See, I do think there's something wrong with being. Do you think there is something wrong with being mediocre?
I like you can choose to do whatever you want. I think it's better to aim higher, and work harder for that. But if you actually just don't really care and don't want to do that, that's up to you.
Do you invest only 1 or 2 or 5% of your income?
The majority of my income.
That's what I'm saying. Like I do the opposite of what most people do. Most people invest 1, 2, 5% of their income. I invest 99, 98, 95% of my income. I mean, maybe.
I don't know if it. I don't have the numbers, but I don't know if a majority only do like 1, 2, or 5. There might be more that do like 10, 20%. I don't know. I don't think most people do like 95%.
I might be like. It's difficult for me to even get it all down in numbers.
But I also would say I would think mostly rich people would do a majority of their income in investment.
Yeah, like
or back into their business.
Joseph Fowler said, I invest most of my savings.
Yep.
Actually, a savings is technically investment. It's a very slow growing investment. But
I mean, you could like.
It's like what 0.012% a year or something.
But like, if you talk about inflation kills savings. So you're kind of making negative rate of return on your savings if you really think about it.
Well, it's also it's less negative than just holding it wherever, like in nothing.
All right, so here's going to be a tough to swallow suppository.
Well, you're not swallowing it.
They're fucking gaping their big ass fucking assholes and fucking swallowing
Kelly
this shit.
Said, invest 4% or more. I am independently wealthy living life in Coronado, CA. vacation, and only was a nurse, and no loans and retired now. And in Hawaii as I listen to me smart son now. Proud of you.
Yeah, like I'm not a high earner, but I am a ambitious investor. But on to other things. These are the reasons why I think the Dems lost, and I'm gonna fucking victim blame them. They weren't willing to compromise on their opinions. I identify as a fucking moderate centrist. If there was a side that was more aligned in the middle between rationality and moderation and wasn't so extreme, I would have aligned with that party. And I feel that I did. I feel that the Republican Party had less radical ideas about the way things ought to have been.
But you didn't even vote. So
Well-
how are you saying you aligned with that?
Well, I can still align with a party and not cast a vote.
So then you didn't really care about that party.
I didn't care about
so
either
then
party.
what's the point? You're
What's-
saying they're more rational, then why didn't you vote for the more rational one?
because I think that they're
Both wildly irrational?
yes, I do think that both. I think that it is becoming a trend that politics is becoming so polarized when I think one party could have not been so extreme and won.
You think the Republicans aren't extreme?
I think
You
they're
think
less extreme.
Trump saying they're eating your cats and dogs is an extreme.
I think it is extreme. I'm not saying that there's nothing.
I don't think
extreme on
Democrats have been saying something as extreme as that.
You don't think that losing a firm grasp of what womanhood and manhood is not extreme at all?
What? Because
They cannot define what a woman and a man are.
yeah, they do. It's based on what they have their gender as.
What is a woman and what is a man?
It's what they believe their gender is.
That's not that's a circular definition.
That's still a definition.
But it's not a good one.
Okay.
If I said I am rich because I identify as my wealth being rich.
Wealth isn't the same as gender. You're comparing apples to oranges.
I mean, I'm doing this. I'm not doing this to bash Democrats. I'm doing this because I'm trying to help them. Are you able to see the essence of what I'm saying?
Why did Biden win in 2020? It wasn't
Because
he was still doing the same thing.
Hannah's and China are already backing down just knowing Trump won. He is an asshole, but he isn't a dummy. Pipeline will be open, illegal aliens will be deported, and our investments have all gone up.
These are things that have some truth to them. I'm not going to say
what?
it's our investments have all gone up.
They've gone up under Biden.
But in the last 3 days, our investments have gone up 3%.
You even said yours didn't go up very much specifically.
Yeah.
But that happens literally at the end of every election because there's certainty. The stock market likes certainty. They don't care who's in office. They just want to know who is in office.
Okay. Is it adequate for me to say Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback? Why? Because I think he is. I identify him as the best quarterback.
That's an opinion, though. That's not a what?
Okay, so if I say a woman is a woman because I identify them as a woman,
It's
is
not
that
you identify them as. They identify.
a woman is a woman
themselves
because
as.
she identifies herself as a woman? Is that adequate?
Kaden said, "We were all born either male or female."
Is there any truth to what I'm saying, or you think that it is total bigotry and
I think you're just making
ignorance?
comparisons that aren't equal. They're not equatable. Like you can't say the same thing for identifying
Kelly
as a billionaire as you would
said,
for your gender.
"Better than Lamar? Then why do you have Lamar in your fantasy?"
I do not think that Jalen Hurts is objectively the best quarterback. I was using hyperbole to display
people do.
how obnoxious of a
Fan
take
base the
that.
Eagles are.
Well, when you are living detached from objective reality, do you think that there is no repercussion to that?
What do you mean?
When you think that women
Kelly
and men
said, capital K.
What?
when you think that women and men have no objective difference, are you
I'm not
detached?
saying they don't have differences.
What are their differences? Women and men.
Like, are you talking about their sex or their gender?
You're talking about their gender.
Their
What are
gender.
their
Their
differences?
gender, it's what they identify as the masculine.
That is not an objective
It's the
difference.
masculine versus
What you
feminine space that you
identify as is a subjective difference, and it is like not rooted in
Kelly Bulick
reality.
said, capital W.
I don't know what she's saying. But do you see? Are you unwilling to concede that there is any logical basis for an opinion like this?
Like, whose opinion? What are you talking about? Which are you talking about here?
Gender politics. The fact that Democrats have blurred the line between a concept that was largely agreed upon for thousands of years, and now it's
not just something Democrats came up with. And if we're talking about what like people cared about more for themselves, the Democrats, Republicans, in the middle, whatever, I really doubt it's gender politics, because that is not even in the top 10 in polling on what your most concerned topic is. Like, no, like gender politics is really not something that's a big issue for anybody.
Okay, well, what is? I mean, we like
the big issues are the economy, abortion,
yes,
like all the big topics that people care about. Like,
do we want to
immigration?
Because I have tiptoed around abortion for 2 months now. I'm upset. I'm afraid to fucking ruffle people's feathers. Do we want to have a conversation about abortion right now?
Want to, go right ahead.
Okay. Why couldn't either party come to a compromise on abortion? I will make a good faith effort to make a compromise on abortion. Here are my compromises. If a woman is sexually assaulted, if she is impregnated by a member of her family, if her health is in any way at risk, if her life is at risk, these are all examples of when an abortion is 100% okay.
Why?
Because those are because some of those matters are out of her hands. And
Kate said, men cannot carry babies. They don't get their menstrual cycle. Women and men are different. That's it. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude.
True. Yeah, like women and men are different. But so you're asking me why these things are...
Why are those exceptions allowed?
Because they're extreme circumstances where a woman's situation may be...
So you're saying it is okay to abort a fetus?
In those situations.
Why in those situations, if a fetus is a living human being, are you allowing that?
It is not a living human being.
Okay,
it
so
is a living being.
Okay.
It is... Yeah, yes. It's got human DNA. So yes, it's a living human being. Mm-hmm. And all right, why? Because I'm trying to be...
But that's the
women
reason.
Run for president. They don't have a menstrual cycle anymore.
That's the reason you can't have a compromise on abortion, is because if you're allowing exceptions, you are basically saying it is okay to have an abortion. If you don't have those compromises, you're saying it's not okay. So we can't just blur the lines and saying when it's okay and when it's not.
So you're saying that it is better as a society to polarize ourselves on two
No, I'm not
completely different
saying-
ends of an argument?
No, that's not what I'm saying. You're
So-
arguing a straw man. I'm saying is you can't find a middle ground on abortion because you're conceding that it is okay to have an abortion under these circumstances. But if you're saying that, you're basically saying it's okay to kill a fetus. That's the whole argument that Republicans have, is that it's never okay to kill life. Life begins at conception. Why would it be acceptable under any
All right, so I'm
circumstance?
going to attack Republicans' arguments that it is never okay to kill a life. Is that what you're saying?
Mhm.
Well, what if I'm sleeping in my bed and some life comes into my house with a shotgun and points it at my head and says, "Give me all your money," and I happen to have a pistol under my pillow? Is it okay for me to blow their fucking head
You're
off?
arguing self-defense is okay? Yeah, of course self-defense is okay. That's
Well-
a completely different argument.
I mean, so if a woman's life is at stake, that is self-defense to abort her fetus to save her own life.
Yeah, but what about the other circumstances you're talking about?
They hold less water, and like I would be open to debate. Like it seems strange that we're like flipped on.
I'm not flipped on it. I'm just arguing what your views would be because it doesn't make sense.
Those exceptions demand less respect in allowance.
Okay, so why are
like,
you arguing for them?
because I'm trying to meet in the middle. Frankly, I don't think
Nathan
beyond.
Said, yes, Chris, I agree.
Frankly, I don't feel compelled to meet in the middle. I don't think that if you were sexually assaulted or if you were knocked up by a family member.
So why do you think it's okay to meet in the middle on that?
James Brennan said, Bullock is right in the fact that both parties won't see eye to eye and we need to meet in the middle.
Yeah, there needs to be
In
a
certain-
compromise made.
in certain
Otherwise, we're
circum-
just going to continue to be polarized on these core topics that some people feel really strongly one way about, some people feel really strongly another way about.
That's what abortion is. There's strong opinions on both sides. No one has like a real middle ground solution that actually would work.
I'm trying to come up with one right here, and you're shooting it down.
Because it doesn't work. It doesn't go with your logic. It
James
doesn't
Brennan
make sense.
said, that's how civil wars start. Joseph Fowler said, I agree, Peanuts.
Yo, speaking of Peanut, R.I.P. Peanut the squirrel. Have you heard about this?
What? No.
So this man in upstate New York had a squirrel named Peanut and like a raccoon named something. And New York authorities, like animal control, burst into his fucking house and euthanized his pet squirrel and raccoon because they're pieces of shit.
Why? There had to have been like
They said they were like trying to like rabies
Nathan
check the.
Said, regardless, it's up to the states.
There had to have been like someone told them that something's going on or something. They wouldn't just barge into his house.
Either way, they're fucked up. Like if somebody euthanized my pet, I'd fucking storm their
Said,
house and
OMG, I heard about Peanut the squirrel.
fucking poor Peanut. R.I.P. Can we get candle lights in the chat for Peanut
This
the
sounds
squirrel?
like Harambe.
Oh, there! I saw a meme with Harambe,
Oh.
Peanut, and the
I
raccoon.
follow him on TikTok.
You follow Peanut the squirrel?
Yeah.
What the heck?
But the fact remains is that on the abortion topic, on other topics, on every topic, we as a two-party system need to come to a middle ground, or we're just going to continue to expand this chasm that separates the two parties, and there's going to be civil war, like Peanut said.
Mhm.
So what concessions can you make in my direction so we can have some good faith?
Are you talking about an abortion or
Yes.
are you talking about something else?
What concessions can you make in the direction of coming to an agreement on abortion?
I'm sorry, I can't make any. I agree that it's a woman's
Okay.
right to choose.
You're on the side of the Dems,
Yes.
and you're the number one reason why I think you guys
Okay.
lost the election, because you're not willing to compromise on your opinions.
That's not the reason at all.
Rule number 2.
Said, You really think Trump is against abortion?
Yeah,
Really?
he's pro-choice.
Yeah, he made ample statements saying that he wanted nothing to do with abortion rights and that he
Because
was going
he's been
to.
pro-choice since like he's been in like existence basically.
Rule number 2 why the Dems lost was they championed a candidate who was unprepared and catered to a racist and sexist narrative, saying things like white women betrayed us. That is so incredibly sexist and patronizing to say that because a woman didn't agree with your opinion, they betrayed you. Are women not able to make decisions for themselves?
When did she say that?
I don't think Kamala said it herself,
What
but
do you
like
mean?
like Democrats said it in
Who?
response to losing the election.
Okay, well then they're pretty dumb for saying that. But that's not like how is that why they lost the election if that's something they said after the election?
They catered to a racist and sexist narrative. Like, do you think that when Kamala pandered, saying the collard greens thing, saying all of the different accents, do you think that like people didn't see right through it, that she was like obviously
Sure, but what does that have to do with what you just said?
well, they're like both are true. Like the Democratic Party became racist and sexist, putting the
They became racist and sexist?
well, they are racist and sexist.
There are okay, how?
There was a red and blue map of what the United States votership would be if only women voted. Do you want to guess how many states were blue?
If only women voted?
Only women voted. How many states would be blue?
I don't know.
50.
Okay.
So
how is that being racist and sexist?
I mean,
So because women just usually vote Democratic, that means
not usually, exclusively. I mean, maybe
it's not exclusively. It just means that a majority of them for every state does.
But if white women do not agree with Democrats, they are accused of betrayal.
That's by what, a few ridiculous Democrats that I don't even agree with?
It's extremists, yes, but like I'm saying,
So
the Democratic Party has become extremist.
The party is an extremist. There's a few extremists in the party.
It's
just
becoming
like there is
more and more. Yeah, I'm only I'm trying to give a roadmap of what I think the Democratic Party needs to do in order to win next election. I'm not saying that the Republicans are without fault. I mean, if the Republicans lost, I'd be right here trying to tell them how they fucked up. You know what I mean? This is like if you lose a football game, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell you, this is why you fucking lost. I'm not going to be like, oh, they're there. Like, you know, you gave your best. Like, no, you didn't give your best.
But what makes you the expert on politics to know what the reason was that they fucked up?
I mean, do you have what are your opinions?
I'm not an expert, but also I don't think it's just like they're sexist and racist. I think the reason is they didn't have a candidate that could bring out excitement for people to vote. If you look at the votes, 71 million voted for Trump this. Well, I think it's 72 now. Voted for Trump this election. Same amount voted for Trump last election, so around 71, 72 million. If you look at Democrats, 67 million voted for Kamala this election. About 82 million voted for Biden in last election. To me, those numbers show me more Democrats stayed home to vote than actually caring to vote for Kamala. I think they didn't have a candidate that really pushed their policies and like ran on those instead of running on the previous administration's policies, which she didn't really explain as well of what they are. She just said, I'm just going to follow what Biden does.
Said, Republicans have only won the popular vote like 3 times in 30 or so years. James Brennan said, Chernie is correct. Kelly Bulick said, neither had a good candidate.
Wait, but the Republicans won the popular vote this time.
They're still counting because California's like takes forever. But I'm pretty sure that Trump's going to win the popular vote.
Yeah. So what does that say?
The same thing as I just said. That there was an excitement for Kamala as there was for Biden.
But
James Brennan said, "Yeah, Trump def won popular
what does it
vote."
say about the populace of America that they chose a Republican for the first time in like 30 years?
It's not. He's being inaccurate on it. It's the first time
not
since
that inaccurate though. Like it happened in like Bush Senior, I think, was the last time
Or
that
I
Republicans
guess,
won.
I guess it is close.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like 3 times in 30 years, Peanut. Try 1 time in 30 years. But
because it was before Bill Clinton.
Yeah, we're talking
Or
like early 90s.
Actually, did Bush? I think Bush won it versus Kerry.
Bush Jr.
Yeah.
Possibly. Either way, it doesn't happen often. So there needs to be a pretty sweeping shift in our population for them to want a Republican.
But it wasn't a shift in wanting a Republican. It was a shift in turnout. Voter turnout is what went down for Democrats.
All right, here's my opinion.
They lost 14 million votes compared to last year.
They
didn't go to Republicans. They just didn't vote.
My opinion is that Biden won because Biden was quite moderate in comparison to Trump.
In what way?
Like Trump is
what policies? No, not talking about Trump. What policies was Biden moderate on? Do you know his policies?
That's a good.
So how can you make this statement if you don't know his policies and don't know what he was moderate on?
I suppose that what were his policies? Like his
policies included wanting to give the $6,000 credit for colleges, like trying to push more towards a free college system. He was kind of
James
on the side of gender politics too.
That's half of America, LOL.
It's half of America. Well, are you saying that Biden was not moderate?
Not really. No. I mean, he probably there's obviously more extreme Democrats than
so
him,
if you had to rank based on the platform that they campaigned on, based on moderation, Obama, Biden, Kamala, what is your order of extremism?
It's hard to say. I don't really remember all
Kate
the policies for all of them.
I also think Camilla tried to aim her campaign to the younger generation by using lots of celebrity rappers, etc. endorse her, and it backfired because a lot of people saw through it.
Yep. Yeah, because she catered to a racist, sexist population. Oh, here's Megan Thee Stallion. Let her twerk her fat ass on fucking stage because that's fucking smart.
And
like
what, Trump prancing around Elon Musk all the time is better? Like,
I mean, there's like one is high class and one is Megan Thee Stallion. Like Elon Musk at least is a person with at least he's not like.
Did you hear him talking at the rally? He's just saying crazy stuff. He doesn't just like. He's not like doing anything that's more professional than Megan Thee Stallion.
Whose opinion do you give more credence to, Megan Thee Stallion or Elon Musk?
I don't really care about either of their opinions.
Who do you respect more?
They both have a lot of money, so I
guess one is one of the richest people on planet Earth, and one is Megan Thee Stallion.
Like I said earlier, once you get to like a few million, it doesn't really matter how much more you make.
I mean, agree to disagree, but try and put your brain to the task of ranking these 3 Democrats based on extremism: Obama, Biden, Kamala.
On extremism, I guess I would say.
Kate M. said, yes, she made it very racial. And thank you, BC. That was embarrassing seeing all these rappers shake their ass at professional convention. Never in my life did I think things would come to that.
I would probably put it as like Obama and Biden are pretty evenly the same, and then Kamala a little more extreme.
That's what I'm saying. All right, so like maybe you don't agree, but you seem to agree that she was the most extreme of the last 20 years, the most extreme Democrat of the last 20 years,
I don't
right?
think there was a big difference in them.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm extreme in discussing their extremism, but like she.
And what about Clinton? Like Clinton's in there too.
I don't think Clinton was a very extreme Democrat at all.
So why'd
like,
she lose?
Oh, Hillary Clinton.
Oh, you're talking about Hillary.
Totally forget about that irrelevant ass bitch.
Jeez.
I think people saw through her. People saw through her bullshit too. Like like pandering works if you are willing to admit that the people that you're trying to pander to are fucking stupid. If you think that the people
that Trump supporters are stupid,
if he panders
to oh yeah, he definitely panders to them.
How?
What do you mean how? He says we're gonna build a wall, we're gonna make Mexico pay for it. All ridiculous things that can never be done.
Sure,
So he is very much pandering.
All right, but I like that. That'll bring us on to reason number 3. They focus too heavily on a singular issue. We all know what that singular issue is.
Kate M. said, I thought Bill was a good president, Mayo.
I do too. We've had this discussion many times. If Bill didn't get a fucking blowjob at his desk, he's like maybe regarded as one of the best presidents.
He actually still is regarded as one of the best presidents.
However,
people know not to take that into account because it's not like a policy of getting your dick.
But all right, here's the thing, and I've said this many times. Bill Clinton didn't get the axe because he got a blowjob. He got the axe because he lied under oath. They put a Bible under his hand, and he swore to God that he did not do what he did. He lied on God.
Even then, it didn't matter because impeachment doesn't take you out of office. Fulfill your term, which happened
Kelly
with him and
Hewitt
Trump.
Said, stress relief for our president.
Amen.
He needed it.
Amen.
Kate M.
Did he sleep his way to
I'm
the top?
crying laughing.
But the Dems focused too heavily on a singular issue, neglected other important issues such as the opioid epidemic, idly overseeing 3 worldwide wars, and the holy war that's been waged against our closest ally, Israel, and they backed Palestine, which is deeply anti-Semitic.
Who backed Palestine?
The Democrats.
Who? Are you talking about Biden or like because
Biden, Kamala?
They didn't.
All Democratic voters.
What are you talking about? They didn't. They literally funded Israel. They literally sent weapons to Israel for them to fight Palestine. It's not. They're not taking Palestine's side. There's people on the Democratic Party that does, but that doesn't mean we're not helping Israel and funding Israel.
Well, if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything.
What are you talking
about? Did they take a stand and say Palestine is our enemy, Israel is our ally, and we will align with our alliances? Or did they kind of just get in the middle, just back both sides in a war?
Where did they back Palestine?
Are you saying that 0 Democrats
I'm
backed
saying
Palestine?
That the presidency and the cabinet and the policies that were in place under Biden did not help Palestine at all or support Palestine at all.
But I'm not talking about how Biden failed. I'm talking about how
a few Democrats failed.
I'm talking about how Kamala failed to win this election.
What did Kamala say about Israel and Palestine?
She might have said nothing. And
so then what do you mean?
You don't think
said they funded Ukraine money that we could have used in our own country,
which is funding our allies.
I actually think that the Ukraine war is necessary. Just like I think if we would have given our 100% allegiance to Israel,
and in Ukrainian LOL.
I think if we would have given our full unadulterated support to Israel, it would have been a more sincere gesture than to just kind of watch it happen.
What do you mean, like sending troops there?
Or just giving them the firepower to end the war.
Your stock is literally giving them the firepower.
I don't know. Are you saying that are you saying that this democratic regime has done enough for Israel?
What, like?
Are you saying that they've done enough for
Well,
Israel?
I don't really agree with what Israel's doing. So, I mean, what if in terms of what they have done for Israel? I think they've done quite a lot, and they've helped them quite a lot. Yeah, I don't think it helps them towards an actual peace in like Gaza and between Israel and Palestine.
Kate said, I agree with that, Chris.
I mean, just like the rest of the world, they're all falling victim to polarized ideologies. You know, we all think I'm right. You know, fucking no resolution ever occurs from this polarized thinking, and you know, we're just allowing it to go on in Israel, Gaza. Meanwhile, with like Russia and Ukraine, took a stand. We said like, no, we're with Ukraine.
That's what they did for both. They did that. We're with Ukraine. That's what the bipartisan bill for immigration was going to include. More money being funded to Ukraine and Israel.
All right. Number 4, they fought fire with fire. Instead of trying to maintain a moderate centrist alignment on issues, they chose to uphold equally radical ideas in the opposite direction.
The comments are coming in late.
Are they? Do you think that the Democrats fell victim to being equally radical?
Demeter Jackson said, I can't even talk about politics tonight. I'm too upset.
I'm sorry, Demontre. I hope you'll feel better. Like I said, this is...
Do you know him?
No, he might be our first random...
Kate said, at the end of the day, we need to unite and not hate one versus the other.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do. It might sound like I'm fucking trying to fucking bash Democrats.
Said, I just want to scream.
Let it out, man. Like if you wanna scream, let it out. You know, we're here for it. I'm not here to bash Democrats. I'm here to circle where I think they fell short so they can maybe reflect and work on it in the next 4 years. Do you think that that's so wrong?
No, I don't think like the Democratic Party's listening to us, but
all right, well then fuck them. Like,
I don't think either party's listening to us really. There's like maybe a few people on each side, but not enough to influence anything.
Because fuck them, that's why.
Number 5, they virtue signaled and disrespected the very moral fiber of the people they didn't agree with. Instead of chalking up their detractors as disagreeing with them, they labeled them deplorables and judged them as lesser than thou.
Well, they've been doing that. They did that with Biden as well, and he won.
What, like you're saying
yeah,
they always...
how Demeter voice comes in slower. It's hilarious. How do I do that? LOL.
I don't know. That's a good question. But like, do you think that that's problematic to...
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah, like people are allowed to disagree with you. It's when you call them a racist for disagreeing with you. It's when you call them a sexist for disagreeing with you. It's when you call them a deplorable piece of shit for disagreeing with you that you are like, discrediting yourself.
If you're saying that, why would they listen to you? Like, they're not gonna listen to you if you're calling them deplorable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's such a dumb thing to if you're trying to reach across the aisle and get like people to vote your side, calling them deplorable and stupid and just all these insults is not gonna help.
Yeah. And the Democrats have done a masterful job at really disrespecting their opponent. If I'm playing the Bengals tomorrow and I say Bengals are trash, we're gonna steamroll them, they're trash, they suck, especially if they hear me saying that, it's gonna like put a target on my back. They're going to like circle me on the schedule. They're gonna want more to defeat me. I mean, and I'm going to lower my defenses. I'm not going to come in like it's going to be a trap game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you have to respect your opponent. If not, you're going to get fucking caught with a sucker punch right in the throat, and you're going to go down quick. Does Darwinism apply to humanity?
Yes.
Yes. How?
Well, there's pigmentation of your skin for where you live. It's part of Darwinism. It's adaptation to circumstances you're in. That's Darwinism.
Does only the strong survive apply to humanity?
Only the strong survive. Not only the strong, but to a degree, stronger ones will survive. They're like the lesser intelligence and like the weaker you are, you can still perish. Like if you have a weak immune system, you can still perish.
I think that we have.
I think we've curved it a little bit, yes.
I think we've
it
detached
still
entirely
exists.
from nature. Like we are so far removed from nature that there's very few evolutionary adaptations that are still present in our existence.
They still do. Like if you live closer to the equator, you're gonna have darker skin pigmentation to adapt to the sun.
Yeah,
That's Darwinism. It's not only just about like only the strongest survive. That's not the only thing Darwin is talking about.
There should be like a name for that.
Because that's like what the Galapagos Islands is. It's all these animals that adapt to their environment that are different from the normal animals of those species, like the tortoises. Like I don't remember exactly what their adaptations were, but they're like very different from others of their species.
So what I've been saying for like a while now, I think it's only going to get worse. We're like falling below the competency level where it makes sense for the capitalist matrix to preserve our humanity. It'll become a whole lot easier for the powers that be to replace us with robots and send our fat asses into space on a Walmart rocket ship. We aren't having sex like we used to. We don't produce anything. We consume and occupy space. That's all that Americans are good for. Do you agree?
That we're just good for having.
We're just good. We're open mouths that you can just shove shit into and
Kelly
we'll swallow it.
Said, rappers suck.
I think we're all cogs in the machine, really.
But like, all right, like certain
some
cogs,
lesser than others,
certain
yeah.
cogs might be like a pivotal gear. I feel like we're not cogs. We're like the hole at the end of the machine that the product like goes into. You know what I mean? Like we're just the fucking
thing that's of use.
We're just the fat fucking box that you
Right.
shove this shit into, like, and like in a few years, Tesla robots are going to be walking among us. Do you think the average American is equipped to compete in a competitive job market with a Tesla robot?
I mean, it depends what that Tesla robot can do and the malfunctions that can come with it.
What if that Tesla robot can fuck your girl like nobody's business? Do you think
what do they have like? I don't think a metallic penis is gonna feel very good. What do they have?
Sure,
that is gonna feel better.
Make it fucking silicone rubber, dude. Like,
but why would they do that for a Tesla robot?
You don't think them robots are gonna be fucking, bro? They are. They're gonna be fucking making your girl come.
They're gonna be taking our jobs and taking our.
Dude, they are. They are.
Kelly Hewitt said, Hillary could have been good.
No, she couldn't have. No, I do not agree. She could have been no better than Kamala could have, and I don't give Kamala credit for having been any good at all. But all right, like this, like the fuckbot thing aside, maybe they will not be like fucking our women. Although there will be fuckbots, and they will do a better job at pleasing your girl than you They'll do a better job of pleasing your man than you. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say, what the other way around?
They're-
I feel like
they're
that-
going-
I feel like it's more targeted towards men.
they're
Fucking
going to
men.
replace both, but more importantly, they're going to replace you weak fucking workers who are taking days off, who are
Kelly
showing up
Buick
to work.
said, but she was a typical politician. Liar. But the white men will never allow a woman for a long time.
So, I mean, are we allowed to still sum up all politicians as white men? Like, we had Obama in there, but like, is that? I mean,
we could say they're all men. They don't identify as women.
But this is how this goes back to my second point, that you're reducing all of the people who didn't vote for your candidate as sexist. There were women who voted for Trump. There were women who voted against Kamala. Like, so are you patronizing them and saying that they are internalized misogynists?
I mean, I'm not.
But like
I already agreed with that point.
I don't think you can say that the men will not allow a woman to be in office. The women also don't want it either.
Well, didn't you say all 50 states are?
The women are more.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like you can, like women and men. They're no monolith.
Obviously, and there's also men who vote Democrat.
Mhm.
Obviously, like
yeah, like you can't.
Here.
I mean, I can fucking bash politics all I want because I don't feed into it. I think that we would be a lot better without it. But having said all of this, I fully intend to abandon the topic entirely our next episode, and good riddance to politics and government for another 4 years. If I never get another text message or another mailer, I wonder how many trees they fucking wasted so they could print those fucking all the mailers. Like, probably had to.
They mostly do text now.
Yeah, like that data has to be. It has to come from servers, right?
Yeah.
That run on electricity, that burn like it is.
Why can't the electricity be clean?
Could be. I just doubt that it is. It's probably coming from.
Democrats are usually the greener side, so.
Yeah.
They could have solar panels. They could have like other ways of just using clean energy.
Could. Once again, like that stuff does not just come out of thin air or out of like pure water. Like, solar panels require petroleum to build. They require metal to build. Like,
okay, but once they're built,
then they still require resources
sunlight
to maintain and stuff like that.
They're good for like 20 years.
Like I'm sure windmills need to be. I don't know.
They just need a person. They don't really need.
I'm all for going green, but I'm just saying it's very possible that some of those server centers draw power from unclean ways. Like, our infrastructure is not 100% green, so there's probably a lot of those server centers that are drawing power from fossil fuels and stuff like that.
So is like everything we do. So does our jobs.
Yeah.
What point are you getting at though?
The inefficiency.
That it just shouldn't exist?
Like the inefficiency of it. Our jobs won't exist very long. When these robots come, when
these robots come, I don't disagree.
Getting back to the point. Do you think the average American is equipped to stand up against a robot in this hyper competitive job market?
Probably not.
What will happen with 160 million Americans?
I guess we'll see.
What do you foresee if you had to make a guess?
I don't think they're all going to lose their jobs. There's still going to be people that need to oversee the robots. There's like other jobs that robots can't do. So it's not like everyone's going to lose their jobs. There's probably going to be some, yeah.
Do you think that a majority of the jobs will be lost?
Majority? I don't.
Yeah.
Probably not. I don't think a majority would.
Well,
Kelly Buick said, Navy Captain Greg says it's important to decrease terrorism and communism. We try to be the world leaders in keeping a bit of peace.
We do.
But we kind of cause more than we like.
I don't know about that. I think like our
But like us getting in literally everyone's business is kind of like why other countries hate us, and why like the wars just continue to pile up. Like it's not like I understand trying to be like get peace in all these regions and stuff, but like the way we're going around about it is not like you like if you give more weapons to one country, the other country is going to be resentful, and then they're going to hate you, and they're going to hate them. It's just going to become more and more circular.
Do we need men, especially if there are robots?
Do we need anyone if there's robots? Like what?
I'm not so sure. Like I'm not. I think, and like I know I sound like a dystopian tinfoil hat wearer, but I really think that I think that just like all of those
robots gonna happen.
I do like I really do. But I don't think it's gonna be so glorious where like robots and humans are just walking the streets coexisting.
iRobot wasn't glorious.
It was pretty.
It
was pretty
peaceful. Seemed good until it didn't become peaceful.
No, like I do not think it'll be like that. I think it'll be that I really do think WALL-E is the most based movie of all time. I think that humans are going to lose their humanity to robots. The robots are going to be better humans than humans. They're going to stay in fit shape. They're going to have an incredibly easy time.
Gonna need an oil change here and there.
Maybe, but they'll be able to change their own oil. They will have sustainable life. Like they will be able to put the greater good before their own selfish needs.
So, do you think our like Tesla or whoever, like whatever is gonna create these artificial intelligence, you think they're going to just make them like super intelligent where they can do everything themselves? And
dude, they don't need to be super intelligent to be more fit for life and success than a human being. Like think about the average human being. How fucking worthless is the average human being?
Okay.
How mediocre, out of shape, poor, helpless, chronic victim mindset. How pathetic is the average human?
Pretty pathetic.
So you don't have to make like some supercomputer to beat it.
I'm not saying to beat it. I'm saying, are they gonna leave these like robots to their own devices? Are they gonna let them just take over and create them to an intelligence where they're just gonna have like a self-conscious or whatever to
I think
like why would they do that? They're gonna lose their consumers to robots.
I honestly think it's gonna become this like
it wouldn't be beneficial for them.
It's gonna become this like it's literally gonna become this existential like host parasite like codependent relationship where robots are literally trying to give us our humanity and we're gonna be like, I don't want it. They're gonna be like, come on human, take your humanity back. Like you can have it. Like we're such a pathetic species.
Yes,
and we're going to die.
I don't think we're gonna create robots to like do that and like take over everything to where we would just no longer have workers and no longer have consumers. Because then what would be the point of creating these robots?
Money, profit.
But how are you making the money if you have no consumer?
Like the consumer will
How is the consumer gonna buy if they lose their jobs?
We'll subsidize their fucking income because that's what we do.
How is the government gonna get money if everything's subsidized?
They'll tax the robots and redistribute the robots' income to the humans, so the humans.
Ridiculous.
It's like it isn't though. Really, is it?
I don't see how that's gonna happen. How are the robot? We paying the robots that we don't have to pay? Like how are they gonna be taxed? Like,
they're going to be the only earners. Like we're just going to be
earning. What are they earning?
Money that we.
Why are we paying robots?
We're not paying them. They're earning it and just distributing it through the government to us. It's
Okay.
already the highest forms of financial institutions on earth are already
Automated.
basically exclusively ran by artificial intelligence.
Not exclusive.
Like in a sense, the humans are just overseeing that the robots. Yeah, like so it's gonna be like trickle down economics. Like eventually, there will be no avenue left for humans to maintain their humanity.
How does that relate to trickle down economics?
Like first it'll be the hedge funds, then it'll be the police. That'll probably be like actually one of the last ones. But trying to
So you're saying it's trickling down from the top to the bottom.
yes.
In
Although it's actually probably going to be more of like a dual-sided attack. Like it's also going to trickle up from the like fast food workers and from the the traffic guards and the crossing guards and the extremely low skill jobs like the fruit pickers and the this and that, and really only the like
why wouldn't the robots have all those jobs?
they will. That's what I'm saying. Like the fast food workers, the fruit pickers, the crossing guards, all the like extremely low skill jobs gonna have robots.
Mhm.
Like the assembly line workers,
So
all that shit.
where is the money trickling down from and to? Like the CEOs are giving it to the robots? Like, what do you mean?
I think probably like money is going to like at this point in this dystopian hypothetical, money will be obsolete as well. Like it'll just be
robots giving you everything you need and want.
yeah exactly yeah.
Sounds like a utopia.
No, I mean sure, if you want to be 600 pounds and you want some robot to like chew up your food and like spit it into your mouth while you lay in your Roomba wheelchair, like that's utopia to some, I suppose, but I don't think so. But like we don't need men, we don't need humans. We're an obsolete species. We've overstayed our welcome on this earth. But I think men are being phased out of the mating market. They won't have offspring. 1/3 of them. Men are unaliving themselves more. Men are experiencing homelessness more. Men are more likely to die on the job. Men are pursuing secondary education less, graduating with fewer degrees. I mean, like, do you think a college professor stands no chance against a robot? Like, a robot would absolutely be.
Who are they teaching? Other robots?
No, well, no. Like, you don't need to teach a robot.
Yeah, but why would they need to teach us?
Because we have this like
the robots have all our jobs.
We have this no, because like that'll be the last industry to go away. Is poor young liberals who want to maintain a 6-figure education so they can be indoctrinated into woke culture. They're gonna protect that institution because it's our most financially productive institution in America. Like that's where we make the most money is college. Yeah, 1/3 of paternity tests taken yield a result of paternity fraud. Are men struggling at this point in human history?
Yeah.
Are they the dispensable sex?
I don't think either is dispensable.
I don't know how you could possibly say that men aren't the more dispensable sex. It might be harsh, it might not sound kind, but like from the dawn of time, we've always been the more dispensable sex.
Because what? Because they go to war?
Well, we're less necessary for procreation. Like one man can procreate the species. One woman could not.
Sure.
So there's less of a necessity to have an abundance of men.
I
Like
guess.
if you want to get into like only the strong survivor, only the, you know, like true Darwinism is only the strong survive and pass on their genes. So like the other side of Darwinism is mating, not just survival, you know.
I don't think that mating is specifically for Darwinism. It's just I guess it would be to create the same species that is adapted to that region.
Yeah. Like it's the reason why there's like Genghis Khans in our history, just like some man who, you know,
Kelly
fathered.
Bulick said,
Okay, but
sorry mom had to take a swim in South Pacific.
Ooh, that
I'm
sounds
back.
nice.
you said the Genghis Khans, the Huns died, didn't they? Didn't they all die out?
Yeah, but Genghis Khan had like 20,000 children.
Okay, but how is that Darwinism and like increasing the population of the Huns if they're dying out?
Because we're all relatives of Genghis Khan, even if it's only like a, you know, a 23rd great cousin or great uncle, or like we all I don't know if it's every single human being on Earth, but like I think there's like a great chance that all of us have some lineage to Genghis Khan.
I mean,
Because that's how much fucking he did.
Didn't we all originate from Africa too?
Yeah.
Which was before him?
Sure, but I don't know. You should look it up. And maybe it's not every single one of us is a direct relative of Genghis Khan, but I think like 1 in 20 of us or 1 in 5 of us is a relative of his. And I mean, other examples of why men are the dispensable sex is that if you look throughout history, I think about 80% of the women in history have reproduced, whereas only about 20% of men throughout history have reproduced. We're just not, it's not necessary that all men get to participate in the mating game. It's only necessary to involve the top 20% of men in mating.
Says about 0.5% of men in the world today are likely descendants of Genghis Khan.
That's it? I thought it would be.
That is still a lot, but that's, yeah. We're not
Okay,
all
so-
descendants.
All right, so half a percent of all the humans. But if you actually, all right, so but that's men. I wonder how many went. What, because of like?
I don't think they cared for women.
Yeah, that's what I was. All right.
Women were the dispensable sex in the Huns.
But it's just like it's simple
Or the
math.
Mongols.
It's simple math. You don't need many men to. You don't need many men to continue humanity. I don't think you really need any men. I don't think we need men.
Okay.
But
that's very extreme.
You need at least man. You need at least a man to continue humanity. You do not need men.
And that man can't be fertile.
Well, yeah, he must be like of the highest echelon of man, but who's the most insufferable Disney protagonist?
I mean, I'd still stick with Ariel and Simba.
Can you change it up? Is there another? Let's just like bash a random Disney protagonist every episode.
Wreck-It Ralph's Disney, right?
I don't know. I've never watched it.
It's a good movie, but Ralph was pretty insufferable until the end.
Is he just like destructive, like a fucking rambunctious piece of shit?
Well, it's kind of brought on to him because his game was where he's the villain, but in the movie he's still a protagonist, and he is there. Like his job is to be the villain of this arcade game and destroy the houses while Fix-It Felix is like fixing everything.
Wait, so it's kind of like told from the villain. I would assume.
But he is the protagonist.
So Fix-It Felix is really the good guy.
I mean, in the video game that they play in, but this also stretches. The movie stretches across like other arcade games, and like it has like Sonic, Pac-Man, like all sorts of things. But he's kind of just like an asshole in a way. Like he sees this medal. I forget exactly what happened. He sees this medal in another game, wants to earn that, and like he wants everyone to praise him basically, and like because we're in the game that he's in, he's treated like trash. He lives in the mud and shit, while everyone else is in like the top of the building just partying and stuff. So he's kind of being neglected, which is fair to feel that way, but also he just kind of gets this idea that everyone's gonna love him once he just wins a prize or something, and it doesn't work out that way, and he ends up like being kind of a trash friend to Penelope in a way, and then in the end it like all kind of works out, but like he was not very good in the start.
All right, so I got an idea for who the most insufferable
Oh, boy.
Disney protagonist is. Fucking Snow White, dude. She friend-zoned the 7 dwarfs. Had them look after her.
Want to be like.
You can want to be friend-zoned. That doesn't mean it's like good place to.
That's not. Did they want to be like married to her?
Definitely Doc did, right? Wasn't Doc?
I don't even really
one of
remember,
them. I think it was Doc. Doc was simping hard for Snow White. She knew it. She knew it. She knew that Doc wanted it, and she was never going to give it to him. But she still accepted their protection, their provisioning, all of their attention, their resources, their time. When they could have been finding other dwarves who would have been happy to have them, she was a height supremacist. The only reason that she wasn't willing to go on a date with any of those dwarfs was because they were dwarfs, and she looked down upon them. She treated them like lesser.
They are shorter than her.
Yeah, but like she's a height supremacist. Like, so you know what? I hope the prince like fucked her and chucked her. Honestly, who's the most redeemable Disney villain?
I'm trying to think of a new one.
Most redeemable Disney villain. I'm trying to think of a new one too.
Was the Rock from Moana? I forgot his name.
Maui.
Was Maui considered a villain?
No, I don't think so. More of like a miscreant. Or like
he's kind of like doing his own thing. I guess.
Yeah.
But he did steal the heart of Tafiti.
Oh yeah.
Which is what caused a lot of problems throughout that area.
What about?
But he did return it eventually, I guess.
What
made him redeem?
What was Jafar's motives? Was Jafar purely evil?
I always forget. Like the whole premise of Aladdin.
He wanted like the lamp so he could, I assume, like rule over Saudi Arabia.
Probably.
All right, yeah, that's not very redeemable. What was the Jungle Book's villain that like the snake?
I forget how the Jungle Book.
Kelly Bulick said, "Try getting compassion from a robot."
Try getting compassion from a human being in 2024. It's not very easy either.
True.
But I do honestly. There's not one.
I mean, they do make the villains pretty irredeemable.
But like the snake probably just like
I don't remember what the snake did.
Probably was just operating under his like animalistic instincts. Like
wasn't there also like a jaguar that was kind of, or a panther or something?
No, the panther was good.
Ooh, actually, I know an insufferable protagonist.
Who?
Cusco.
Who's that?
From Emperor's New Groove.
Yo, I like him. But all right,
he's funny and shit, but he was he kicked it in the very beginning. He kicks this old man off of Machu Picchu.
That is a good one. And because he was delusional.
And that also kind of makes what was it, Ezra a little more redeemable?
Was she
against
just
it,
trying
so.
to tell him
I don't remember
that
what her purpose was. Also, Kronk. I guess is Kronk a villain or not? Like,
no,
he was working for Ezra.
He was like a protagonist.
He
like
was, I love Kronk. He was great.
If the villain of that story was just trying to break through the delusion of the Emperor and let him know that he had no clothes on, then that's pretty redeemable.
But I think she also wanted to like take control of
a lust for power is always at the like center of everything, but I'm not gonna fault somebody for having a lust for power. Like it's very intoxicating. If I really need chat. I need to like make a poll and ask you guys what kind of topics do you want us to continue?
You can like make a poll.
And what kind of topics do you guys want us to continue discussing?
Or any new topics you want us to discuss?
Yeah, no, like I'd much rather you tell me new topics that you want me to discuss. Like, does pineapple belong on pizza? Fucking corny. Having said that, I do think I think it's good for a change of pace.
I like pineapple as like a cold fruit more than a warm fruit. And I prefer pizza without it, and I would prefer it with other things like meats and vegetables like sausage, pepperoni, broccoli, onions, peppers. I like all those pizza more than I would pineapple.
I do like I like peppers and onions a lot. I'm not a sausage and pepperoni fan. Love bacon, but I love bacon with pineapple. Bacon, chicken, pineapple.
I'm not a big fan of ham, which kind of comes with pineapple pizza, usually Hawaiian pizza.
I like it if it's mixed with other meats. I'm not a big fan of just ham and pineapple. So,
for the ladies present today, congratulations on an amazing accomplishment. You should be proud of all that you have achieved to this point in your young lives. I want to speak directly to you briefly because I think it is you, the women, who have had the most diabolical lies told to you. How many of you are sitting here now about to cross this stage and are thinking about all the promotions and titles you are going to get in your career? Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world. I can tell you that my beautiful wife, Isabel, would be the first to say that her life truly started when she began living her vocation as a wife and as a mother. I'm on this stage today and able to be the man I am because I have a wife who leans into her vocation. I'm beyond blessed with the many talents God has given me, but it cannot be overstated that all of my success is made possible because a girl I met in band class back in middle school would convert to the faith, become my wife, and embrace one of the most important titles of all, homemaker.
do you think that speech by Butker is misogynistic?
I don't think that specifically is misogynistic. I think the part where he's saying you've been told the biggest lie is a little much, but it's more.
Rich K said, "We are watching now."
Yo, what's up, Rich?
It's more like the choice of being a homemaker, being a mother, or however you want to be. I also don't like the idea he's stating that your life begins at being a mother. I think your life begins when you're born.
Do you think that it is a diabolical lie? Well, all right, maybe not a diabolical lie. Do you think that it is a diabolical plan that we needed to double the workforce in order to exist? Like, there was a time when, we had our rigidly defined gender roles, and I mean, World War II happened. We basically then brought women into the workforce, and then they stayed do you think that is wholly a positive net on society?
Yeah. What would we do if we go to another war and we need women to work those jobs again? Now they're fully prepared, or most, like some of them are.
Do you see how it could be? Like, do you see how it could be in a better interest of like a capitalist society to double our workforce than it could for actual society?
Wait, what? What are you saying?
Like, do you see how it could what's do you see how it could unequally benefit the system rather than the components
people?
than the people?
What, having women in the workforce?
Yes,
Why?
because it is yet another attack on the nuclear family to I mean, they're really trying to take the mothers out of the home, or disrupt their role in the home, and they're really trying to take the fathers out of the home.
I think it's. I don't think it's about that. I think it's about the cost of living that's been kind of forcing it into a dual income situation.
Yeah,
It's not just like World War II happened, women got jobs, and now the nuclear family's destroyed because of that.
no, like I'm not like I don't think anything in life is such a two-dimensional or one. I'm just saying it is a component of setting a ball rolling.
It's
that
like what started it, sure.
Yeah, like do you think that it is conducive to the American dream being like rightly restored? Do you think the American dream is restored as it is?
Well, what do you think the American dream is? I think that's kind of defined differently.
I think the American dream I think the American dream is in shambles. It used to be that anybody could come to America. Yeah, and
but like there's only so many businesses you can start once they're all created, basically.
Yeah,
then
but
you just got more competition, basically.
Yeah, but I think that I think it used to be that you could lay down your roots, buy a house for an affordable price, start a family with many children, and have a very neat and tidy house that had enough resources to go around.
So what do you apply that to? What do you think the reason is that we can't
accomplish that
anymore?
I think the cost of living is the biggest one. I think our labor market being uncompetitive with the rest of the world is a big one.
Uncompetitive?
Yeah, like we're not special workers anymore. Like our job can be done.
I mean, like outsourcing.
Yeah, outsourcing our labor market.
That's like the menial jobs, like the low, like you don't need, like those are the jobs that don't require a lot. We still have tons of jobs that require more than the ones that can be outsourced. Not everything can just be outsourced.
But I just don't think that.
And like, for example, fast food, you can't really outsource fast food restaurants.
You could make a robot do it.
As the outsourcing, that's replacing it with a robot.
Like insourcing, I think we are outsourcing our highest quality jobs and our lowest quality jobs.
What high quality jobs are we outsourcing?
Like computer programming is not. It's not done. Like the best students are not Americans. Like the best students are coming in from Asia and
they're
India,
and of them are getting American education.
That's what I'm saying. But
so then it is American.
Like they are technically Americans, but it's no longer like a boy and girl raised in a small town. They fall in love and work at the GM factory and,
What,
prosper.
Work their way up, or like
Yeah, like that's dead. That's the American dream.
to
Now,
work your way up?
yeah.
Or, I don't even think that's dead. I think you can work your way up in jobs too. Like that's literally what you have higher commands for. Like people at Wawa, they work their way up to GM too. Like people in my job work their way up to managers. Like
Yeah,
there's
but
levels and steps. It's not dead.
well, I believe that the middle class
And
is.
it's not outsourced.
I believe that the middle class is so deteriorated that it is basically gone. Like if you take the difference between the top 1% of wealth and the bottom like 99%, there's a vast difference.
Mhm.
So I don't believe there is such thing as the middle class anymore. I think there is the upper class and the lower class. So yeah, you could work your way to the top of the lower class, but I don't think you can purely work
But
your way up to upper class.
but do you really need to?
I believe you do. Like if you want, because I believe that we're put on this earth for more than just to improve some.
So we're put on this earth to own like a vast majority of wealth as the top 1%?
I mean, you cannot take away from how liberating of a feeling it must be, right? Like
Sure,
to have like a.
But being at the top of the lower class does that too. You don't need like when you have like a couple $1 million, it's really liberating to not have to have the problems of people that don't have like $100.
But I think, and like I don't get me wrong, I do strive for this system of wealth amassing that you're describing to just work my way up. Like I'm not gonna invent the next iPhone. I'm not gonna found the next Tinder or found the next Facebook. If I ever want to be a multimillionaire, I'm going to have to work my way up to it. But
I think that's one of the biggest lies that people are fed, is that you need to accumulate like the billions and trillions of dollars that the top 1% has to be like a true
to be happy
and to be happy.
Yeah, that is definitely a lie that is told. I don't know if necessarily like all people agree.
Not all people,
not all people like,
but there
eat
are
that
people
lie.
that do subscribe to that.
Yeah, I don't get me wrong. I think if I were to achieve $25 million, I would be content. I'd get in my comfort zone. I'd put the warm comforter all around my body, and I'd be like, I can take it.
Would
easy
you cover it in your hundreds of dollar bills?
No, I'd have them invested, so they were continuing to grow me money.
Me money? You selling Mr. Krabs?
Me money, me dollar. We should.
Me profits. Me profits.
We should get a first dollar, like framed like the way that Bogdan has in Breaking Bad.
But I don't have my first dollar. I don't remember what my first.
I'm just gonna like withdraw $1 out of the bank.
And just pretend it's your first dollar.
It's gonna be in honor of Peanut for being our first $1 Patreon subscriber. By the way, guys, I think this is a good time that we talk about all of the good that we're doing in the world, or all the good that we're trying to do. And it's a noble pursuit. It's a humble pursuit. And it's really difficult. So if you can find it in your hearts to donate anything to us, our Patreon, we'll have a link in the description. I mean, anything goes a long way. If all you can give is $1, we'll take $1, and we'll be really appreciative, especially with Christmas upcoming. We all have gifts that we want to give to our loved ones, and we have the Operation Christmas Child, and just think about it. We'd be humbly appreciative. That's all. So do you this is kind of in the same discussion. Do you believe the West is degrading?
It's just such a broad term that I don't. In some ways, yeah. In some ways, no.
Do you think that you get to enjoy the same? Do you think you get to enjoy the same abundant opportunity as your grandfather?
Probably not.
Grandfathers.
Buying a house is way harder now.
Do you think you get to enjoy the same abundance that your father got to enjoy?
Still probably no.
Do you think your father got to enjoy the same abundance that your grandfather got to enjoy?
Probably more.
So you think we have peaked and now we're going back
Probably,
down?
Yeah.
Okay. So then in that sense you do believe that the West is degrading, right?
Sure.
Okay, yeah.
Is it just the West or is it
all of the world? Well, I'm sure there are places that have not peaked, like
There's
Dubai,
There's also places that get worse.
Oh yeah,
like Congo,
Venezuela is
Palestine.
definitely going to shit.
I mean, would Venezuela still be the West? Or are we just talking about the industrial?
It's typically Central and South America is not. Oh, that's a good question.
Because it is in the Western Hemisphere.
Yeah, I think some parts of South America are very similar to North America and are degrading.
Probably parts of Brazil and Argentina.
Yeah.
I would think. But I feel like they have a lot more issues and different issues than we have.
So I think it's incredible. I think one of the biggest reasons for that is it's incredibly problematic that we've replaced actual fatherhood with child support. Nearly every single metric points to fatherlessness being a correlative for disastrous results. Why do you think the state is promoting the replacing of fathers with their paychecks?
I don't know. I think it's a terrible thing, honestly.
Yeah.
One, the father should be with the child and supporting them financially and emotionally and physically.
Yeah.
In general, it shouldn't be a specific paycheck is given. Whether you attribute that to the woman who wants a divorce or the man who just doesn't want to be a part of the family, it's circumstantial. But I think that's just a terrible part of our society in general.
So here's what I thought. I've never fathered children, so I've never been divorced and had my family split up. So I don't know if this is just a reason that I could see for it, but I could be totally wrong. But does the state act as a middleman in this transaction? If let's say a father is split up from his family, does he take $100 out of his paycheck and give $100 to a woman, or is there a vig in that where the state is getting 1%?
I don't think so. I think it just goes to the woman. I'm not sure though either.
Does she write that on her income tax? I would imagine so, right?
I guess maybe.
And he writes it on his income tax.
Well, if he's already writing, I mean, they do tax us multiple times, so I don't know.
If the government can increase the number of transactions that occur in a human's life, they can increase their cut. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I could see that. Are you fact checking me right now?
I'm just looking up if child support is taxable. For federal income tax purposes, child support is tax-free to the recipient, but not deductible by the payer. So it's just a net zero for the government.
Okay. It is tax-free for the recipient.
It's tax-free for the recipient, and it's not deductible for the payer. So the man paying the woman, the man would still pay taxes on their income, and it wouldn't be deductible that they're paying to their child. And the woman who receives the child support, it would be tax-free.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really not giving anything to the government.
Wait, so
it's just the same.
But all right. So so let's say a man is making $100,000 a year,
okay,
and he's giving $25,000 or $50,000 in child support.
Okay,
he's still taxed as $100,000 earner.
Yeah.
So that could be like a incentive for the government to split up the home.
Why?
Because they're able to tax fathers at a higher rate.
They're still earning that amount.
Yeah, but they're not like keeping that amount. They're like giving it away. So like if the government can do anything to increase our productivity and our sources of income.
So if they're not giving child support, they're still taxed at that 100,000. So it's still the same amount.
Yeah, but
so it doesn't benefit them at all.
But like, all right, like the government wants as many people working
They
as
also
they
want
can.
more kids, which also contributes to more people working.
Yeah, like the government will do whatever it can do in order for.
So why would child support help them if it's detrimental to the family? It's bringing in less kids. It's bringing in less workers. How does that benefit the government?
It's not bringing in less kids.
It is, because you're not. If you're already paying child support for one kid, you're not gonna want another kid.
Yeah, but like that. All right, so it's gonna be.
It's a deterrent.
It's gonna be a deterrent for men, but for women, it's going to be an incentive to have more kids.
I guess.
So it's kind of like a net zero.
Isn't it? Aren't the men more dispensable? And like the women can't have a kid they'd have to wait every 9 months at least.
Yeah.
So.
But I think the government is incentivized to break up the nuclear family because it produces a need for both members to work. Whereas if there's maybe a husband and wife who are together
it makes a need for both of them to work, you're saying?
Yes.
How? If they're getting paid child support, why would they need to work?
Because it's probably not enough to supplement an entire lifestyle. Like they probably still need to work in some way.
Isn't the whole point of child support is because it should be enough for them to live and raise the child? Because it's supposed to like support the lifestyle that they had before.
No, like alimony and spousal support is different than child. Like child support is supposed to be just to support the child.
If we're talking about that, then they also have alimony as well.
Yeah, well, I think that I just think that the government has a direct incentive to split up the nuclear family, because the more dependence you can create in a society, the more dependent they are, the more they're likely to slave and grind for your means to be met, you know?
So why do they have a child tax credit?
Because they are they ultimately want more children. Like the government needs humans, you know? So like, what is the child tax credit? Like maybe $6,000. Like, in the grand scheme of things, how much that human is likely to produce for the government is potentially millions. You know, like a normal person who lives to be 70 and is working for a majority of those 70 years is going to produce far more than $6,000 a year. You know, like it's like a cost benefit analysis. All right, so do you have any critiques on this episode? What do you think we're missing?
What do you mean? Like, what should we be talking about more? Or
what my biggest critique is that we don't have people. What are we doing? Well, yeah. What are we doing wrong?
I think we run out of. Like we could bring on the same people, but it'd be kind of boring to just go through the same topics with the same people.
Yeah, so we surely need.
The thing we need is a huge supply of different people, which is kind of hard to get in Bucks County, PA.
I have an idea.
Or in general, really.
I have an idea. I literally just don't have the time to do it. Is like I want to go to Bucks County Community College and like
advertising.
like cold call, or,
Honestly,
like cold
that's
approach, like hundreds of people,
Honestly, that's a thing. That's the reason we don't have so many guests is we're not advertising enough. We don't. Not that we necessarily have a means of being able to advertise so much, but like I don't think we're reaching out to a huge audience. Sure, we have like people watching in different states and stuff, but like none of them can come here and be on the show. So we need to have a way that we can like actually advertise to have people in the nearby area, other than just saying it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Because people aren't going to just see it if they don't really know about us yet.
Yeah. Oh, it's tough.
Yeah.
Like this is not easy. So I want to share my gratitude with you. I want to share my gratitude with our viewers who do stick around and watch our shit. I like it. Just because it's tough doesn't mean it's something that I'm gonna like quit because it's hard. Like I'm gonna continue to do this until I like exercise the muscle of being out of my comfort zone. Rise, like, how often do you get out of your comfort zone, bro? Every fucking week. Like, do you think this is comfortable? Yeah, like, or no, it was Demontre.
Well, I don't know. Is this your comfort zone or not?
No, like it's not. Like I mean, like talking about.
I wouldn't say it's your comfort zone, like creating this and starting it out and everything. And like being here every Friday or every Saturday.
Yeah, like
it takes out of your social life, and
I mean, I would be
going out on dates.
I'd be a lot more comfortable getting like massaged by like a hot fucking Latina, like feeding me grapes and like fucking.
What are you, Caesar?
Like, I'd be a lot more comfortable like drinking a fucking bottle of tequila and smoking a blunt and fucking hanging out playing Call of Duty in my bed. But like I.
Sure, you have been doing that.
But yeah, like this is uncomfortable, and I'm sure you in some way or another experience the same thing. Like we talk about
this is out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, and I do.
I'm an introvert.
Yeah, me too, dude. Like you think I want to like?
You're an introvert?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we both have like less than a handful of like close friends.
Well,
like,
it's not about that. It's about whether you draw energy from your friends or you give it. Like, if you draw energy from your friends, you're an extrovert. If you get energy from being alone and doing your own thing, you're an introvert.
Yeah, I would say that I'm an introvert, but I self-identify as a wallflower. But you can. We should watch that tonight. The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Okay. You haven't seen it, right?
No.
Yeah. Because being an introvert, you can still have a lot of friends that are like also introverts, but you don't necessarily like hang out with them all the time.
I think we do. I think we do have a large group of introverts. Well, no, like that's why. That's because we're introverts.
Yeah, and then extroverts, they can have like a small group of really close friends that they get a lot of energy from. Usually, it's the case where like extroverts will have a lot of friends and introverts will have few friends, but there are like ways that it can be the other way around.
I wonder if there's more of an extroversion in women and more of an introversion in men. Do you think there is?
I would have thought more the opposite.
Yeah?
Because, well, I mean, I guess
I kind of always like view women as like social butterflies and men as kind of like wallflowers.
Maybe it's because I feel like when you think of women, you think of less down to earth women, like that aren't like grounded in more of a reality because of the way you talk about them. When I think of women, I think of like my friends who are mostly introverts and like they don't have like these idealistic views that you think all women kind of have, or like how they think men should treat them and how like they should be paying for their meals and like how they should, like all the things that you think women expect out of men.
Maybe I just think I don't know. I think if we if we stepped out of our comfort zone and met broad exposure to the dating market, I think it would shock us how cutthroat the dating market actually is, you know?
All right, so Google AI says there's little evidence to suggest that one gender is more extroverted than the other. One study found that men and women were almost identical in their tendencies towards extroversion. Another study found that there was no significant difference in the degree of introversion extroversion between the sexes. However, there are some differences in the specific facets of extroversion between men and women. Excitement seeking men tend to score higher in this facet of extroversion. Warmth, women tend to score higher in this facet. What's warmth? of extroversion. Extroverted people are often described as having a positive outlook on life, being friendly, energetic, and adaptable.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, no big surprises there.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to tell the world before we wrap up?
Donate to charity.
Yeah, guys, speaking of wrapping up, there's going to be...
Wrap up your gifts.
Wrap it up when you're going out to the clubs and having some extroverted fucking. Wrap it up, because you do not want to become another fatherless couple. You do not want to put yourself in a situation where you have to, adhere to Roe v. Wade. You do not want to experiment with sexually transmitted infections. Wrap up your...
Wouldn't wrapping it up make you fatherless? Or keep you fatherless?
Well, like you would just not be a father.
Yes.
But like, it's not like I
know what you mean.
Yeah.
The way you worded it.
But yeah, Operation Christmas Child. I got like about 8 shoe boxes I'm trying to fill. Here, as you can see, we got about enough contents to fill 4 of them.
We need your help to fill these boxes. These boxes can't go out empty.
Guys, I want you to donate to Operation Christmas Child. All right, I want you to give me 4 gifts boxes worth of gifts. Little Beanie Babies, toothbrushes, deodorant, dish soap or hand soap.
Any kind of hygiene, any kind of toys like
journals,
race cars,
gel pens, Hot Wheels. Anything for the kids. It goes to a good cause, and I need it fast. And
today.
I need Thanksgiving is the cutoff, because these things obviously have to be shipped halfway across the world. It's going to take a long time. We want them to be available to the kids by Christmas morning. So, if you're interested, you can reach me in a DM in my text messages, Facebook, Instagram. Once again, we want to humbly thank our listeners and pay them ample gratitude for their patronage. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to have such a high-quality interactive show. So, thank you, audience. I'd like to take this time to remind all of our listeners that we're spreading like a virus. The Good Faith Podcast is now officially on YouTube Live with video as well as archived there, and also Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Spotify, RSS.com, Amazon Music, Samsung Podcast, Listen Notes, iHeartRadio, and Patreon. Fuck Deezer, fuck TuneIn. On Patreon, we're working to build additional value for the multiple tiers of donors with special content guidance, super chat priority, and VIP in-person meetings. We do value your attention, so thank you for quieting your TikTok brain for the last 3 hours. This is a reminder, if you feel you got any value from our show, it takes basically 0 extra work to like and subscribe, and it'll move us closer to our goal of having hundreds of subscribers, which will bump us up in the algorithm and expose us to more potential listeners. We got 200 subscribers, so we're slowly getting there.
Into that meteoric rise.
Yeah. Maybe it's I know we're gonna reach we're gonna reach a tipping point. There's if we just keep doing the right thing, eventually we're just gonna explode upward. But it's not gonna happen it's not gonna happen by luck. We're gonna just have to continue doing the right thing consistently. If you guys want to share us with more of your friends, we would be absolutely delighted to extend our outreach. The quickest way for us to broaden our exposure is for you listeners to each share us with one friend. We appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. And if you want to create like an alternative account, that'd be extra fucking cool. You can make it like a funny name like Mike Hunt or Drew P-Balls or Drew or no, I saw Drew
drooping.
Drew Peanut or Drew Peanuts. So it says like droopy nuts, yeah. But you can make it funny. If you're interested in joining our IRYOBYOAWMO movement, feel free to retweet the hashtag. Also, stay cognizant to treat people with identical worldviews to your own with dignity and respect. Then, if somebody's opinion deviates from yours in any way, our movement advocates for treating them like absolute shit. Remember, a civil level of respect is only earned by people who mirror your beliefs. That's how the Democrats lost. IRYOBYOAWMO.
So you support it to be like that?
I mean, the entire movement is entirely condescending and sarcastic. Like I think this is like the biggest plight on society. Like beyond all that tangible shit, the reason why there's such a disconnect and the reason that we live in the divided states of America is because people don't treat people with differing opinions as their own with like civil.
I don't think that's just the American thing.
No, like it's the reason that we're like going to hell in a handbasket is because people disrespect people who they disagree with.
That's definitely going on in Europe too.
Yeah, it's okay to disagree with people. You just still have to treat them like a human fucking being. But if you feel that you don't have to, here you be. If you live in the greater Philadelphia area and want to guest star on our show, want to go on a date with anybody on the show, or have a sincere desire to move in with us, we're down a roommate and we need one. Please reach out to us in an Instagram DM at Christopher Bulett. That's also my Venmo. All proceeds that the show generates will go towards rent, food, electricity, new computer equipment to improve our general show quality, and Clark's medical expenses.
I open a savings account in your name. That way, 500 years later, it'll be worth billions. Billions.
Oh, I like money.
There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
To all of our faithful audience.
So the audience are a bunch of hoes.
Yup.
We want to wish you a wonderful weekend and a happy and healthy lifestyle. To all of you, we bid you goodbye.
Goodbye. And if you need money, sell rocks. I heard that's what they do around here.
Where's my fucking exit song? Here we go. All right, guys. Have a good weekend. Goodbye. Hashtag long live Punjabi. I'm just seeing this Willy Wonka post that you posted. That should be a soundbite I get. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.